の世界人の意志にフラン来たり熱き大地
Wolt is a character from the Fire Emblem franchise. He appeared in the title Fire Emblem the Binding Blade. Fire Emblem the Binding Blade or Fire Blade Binding was released in 2002 and was the first Fire Emblem Fire Emblem the Binding Blade or Fire Blade Binding was released in 2002 and was the first Fire Emblem game developed after the departure of Shozu Kaga. He created Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, Emblem Gaiden, and the others. So, if you think about it, it was pretty great that Kaga left, because if he didn't leave, then Wolt would have never been a real character. Anyways, back to Wolt.
Wolt is first introduced in Chapter 1, Dawn of Destiny, where he is shown as a nice young boy with a strong, friendly relationship with Roy, the protagonist of the game. He begins the game as a level 1 archer. His starting stats are 4 strength, 4 skill, 5 speed, 2 luck, 4 defense, 0 res, 5 move, 7 constitution, and 18 HP. And his affinity is ice. And his growths are 80% HP, 40% strength, 50% skill, 40% speed, 40% luck, 20% defense, and 10% resistance.
Daniel?
As a unit, Wolt is quite useful in regards to battle in FE6, as he can attack at 2 range and kill enemies without them attacking back. As archers are generally weak in the GBA games, enemy archers are usually not much of a threat and may just die quickly because he is a mage killer. His D ranking bows is quite useful, although not amazing, but he can use steel weapons quite early. If you use him early on, his weapon rank will progress to C anyway. Due to his high skill growth and reasonable base stats, he can crit quite often and usually has good critty on goody enemies. He is useful early on to chip enemies down for weaker units like Marcus and Bors. He easily outperforms other archer and sniper units by the time they arrive due to his amazing growth and low level potential. It is never okay to early promote. Fair. Never! So don't, okay?
Wolt's design oddly has the same color palette of the Brazilian flag. It may seem odd, but it's quite amazing. If Wolt were to go to Brazil, he would quit in Fight Well. So, if you do see a Wolt, do not be surprised, because I would not be. I like Brazil.
There are many alternative Wolts. Some may be gained from Wolt Gacha. A few of them are Swimming Wolt, Dark Wolt, Lightning Wolt, and the rarest one, which is Golden Wolt, soon to be obsolete to the power of Diamond Wolt. But all Wolts are actually stronger than Goku.
There are also quite a few celebrities, video game, and TV show characters who reference Wolt. They usually do this by saying the famous Wolt quote,
Hi, Roy!
This is represented in Fire Emblem a lot.
Hi, Roy!
Because the director of Fire Emblem games, Masahiro Sakurai, loves Wolt. The JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Golden Weed virtual YouTuber Nero Risotto, and the star of the Cars trilogy Lightning McWolt often dress as Wolt for Halloween.
Wolt, despite being a good role model for children, often dates many women all at once. He often goes out on town, gets drunk, proceeds to hit on women, then later has sex with them. Because of this, approximately 100 people in the world are actually Wolt's descendants, and sometimes, when he's so drunk, he will actually hit women. Some people, who are actually related to Wolt but don't look like it, are Chuck.
Jeff the Killer is the man who killed many people in their homes, whispering, "Go to sleep," before he ultimately murdered them. He killed many people this way.
Wolt has a support with every Fire Emblem character, as well as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character, because he is featured prominently in both games. However, to keep this video short, we will only talk about 3 Fire Emblem characters, and 1 Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character. Roy is a secondary character in Fire Emblem The Binding Blade. There is an alternate route where the player gets to play his story, where it is revealed to everyone but Wolt that Roy is actually planning to impersonate him. However, their support shows a mutual respect and appreciation for each other. In the next support, Roy tells Wolt,
"We gotta talk."
then Wolt finally concedes and faces the reality that they may not be friends anymore. However, later on when Roy is talking, an arrow is accidentally fired on him, and he dies. This results in a game over if the player is playing Roy's route. But in the canon route, Wolt takes the arrow for Roy, and they happily go to the infirmary together. In their support, Roy states that they feel far apart as friends. Wolt says he actually feels like an ice cream sandwich, and they both go get vanilla flavor. Roy, however, feels dissatisfied and tells him that in their B support, he'll actually have a proper conversation with Wolt. Finally, in their A support, Roy asks,
"How was the infirmary?"
and Wolt says,
It was good. I'd be happy to take another shot for you if needed.
Roy, feeling their friendship rejuvenated, tells him that they are the best of friends, and Wolt agrees. Wolt and Roy do not have a marriage option, despite many female fans wanting for it.
Wolt also has a support with Marcus, a man. Their support only goes up to B, but still reveals a lot about both men. The C support starts with Marcus beating a training dummy, then getting a leg cramp. Wolt then comes to the rescue by applying Concoction, a Fire Emblem item used for healing wounds. This item heals up to 20 HP to the unit that uses it. Marcus then thanks Wolt and asks for forgiveness for being a weakling. Wolt then replies with kindness and mercy. This reveals that even old people like Marcus look up to him, and that Wolt doesn't discriminate based on age and/or any other personality traits. In the final support, Marcus comes up to Wolt and tells him what a good job he has done making the war a stroll in the park for the army. Wolt replies with,
Thanks.
and then they go on a long conversation that's hard to recount, but basically it ends with,
Wolt, I know you're independent and pretty old by now. How old are you?
I'm 15.
Wolt, I want to adopt you. I know it might be too late since you're old enough to marry, but I wish I had a son like you.
Marcus.
Please, Wolt, let me speak. My son died in a scripted event he never got to mention in the sequel to this game. But you could be my son.
Marcus. It's an honor.
the support ends there. We have no clue if he adopted Wolt after the game.
The final Fire Emblem support is Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, Wolt isn't a prominent character in Three Houses and was added as DLC. This was because it took a longer time to develop Wolt than the actual game, so Nintendo decided to sell him as an add-on. Regardless, he has a support with the optional main character Edelgard, and they go up to A, as only the non-optional main character Byleth has the option to S support. In the C support, Edelgard and Wolt meet for the first time, and Wolt asks how her day was. Edelgard asks why Wolt is here when he's not a student, as he's not wearing the Garrick High School uniform. Edelgard then sends him to get a uniform, but starts to think about Wolt's words, and the support ends. After this, Wolt wears a school uniform for the rest of the game, including the time skip, oddly enough. In the B support, Edelgard doubts her ability to lead the Black Eagles, but Wolt reaffirms her that she is indeed a fantastic leader because of her positive relationship with everyone in her cohort. Edelgard then smiles to Wolt warmly. Wolt leaves, and then a quick shot of a saddened Edelgard is shown. After the time skip, Wolt and Edelgard have their A support. At first, the conversation is friendly as Wolt and Edelgard catch up. They joke about how he's still in uniform. Wolt says even if the church is evil, he felt a sense of pride wearing it as he represented the other students. The conversation then sours when Wolt shows his remorse and sadness that Edelgard turned out this way, and her path led to a lot of bloodshed. Edelgard then rebukes Wolt's remarks, and tells him to leave at once. They both agree to disagree and say that they will not speak to each other after the war. Wolt even asks Edelgard to remove his name from future historical text before the support ends, and Edelgard tears up.
The SSBU support is with Byleth. Now, because of the amount of characters in SSBU, every character can only have one support, and none of them are canon, but still reveal a lot about the characters and the precision of characterization honoured by the development team. The support goes like this. Byleth has schizophrenia and sees a half-naked little ghost girl and asks for Wolt's guidance. Wolt then performs an exorcism first try, and Byleth is free of the ghost. Unfortunately for Wolt, he has the ghost stuck in his head now, and it turns out even worse. He has even more ultimate power than he already had, now having the useless ability of going back in time. Wolt also technically gains an awakened form, but this doesn't actually change his appearance much, since Byleth, when awakened, pretty much has Wolt-coloured hair. When Wolt has Wolt-coloured hair, it's just slightly brighter.
Wolt has a daughter or mother named Rebecca. We're not sure, and she is pretty good too, but not amazing since she is a woman. Wolt's father is probably Aethos or Lowen. Wolt is depicted saving many people throughout his life and displays godly characteristics which can either be traced back to Aethos as he is the man, or Lowen since he is related to Buddha and carries the holy blood. Wolt's familial heritage presumably traces back to these godly figures, but recent findings have proven all of this information false. In the newfound Dongrynian texts, Wolt is described as being the creator and son of the holy lord and creator Dongren, also known as Tyrone, and also known as Eren, and is his greatest achievement, next to the creation of humans and My Hero Academia. Wolt's behaviour and overall awesomeness takes on Wolt's behaviour and overall awesomeness takes on a new light with this information, as the fact that he is the child of the true god Dongren proves that Wolt is above all humans. He is a saviour to mankind, and basically Jesus but cooler.
In the Dongrynian Bible, Dongren is struck down by the 4 foul Apostle God rebels in an amazing fight that lasts around 2 whole years without a rest. Dongren was sealed within a deep-fried watermelon and trapped for eternity! Leaving Wolt to be the only one left on Earth.
Wolt assumed the role his father originally had and attempted to surpass his father and serve his people well. He took revenge on the 4 foul Apostle God rebels and killed them all for rebelling against Dongren. Wolt's story is documented in the Holy Scripture dedicated to his divine presence and overall greatness, written in 1974 in Moscow. For this reason, Wolt likes communism.
Dew is Wolt's best friend and right-hand man due to his craftiness and ability to adapt to many situations and deal with problems awesomely. Kawahara and Roy are 2 of Wolt's greatest friends, but not better than Dew because Dew has Bargain. Bargain is a skill that allows the unit to purchase items in shops for 50% of the original price. Such a skill is quite useful, especially in Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War, as item prices are quite inflated compared to other games in the series, and money is not shared with every unit, but instead is personal. Dew also has the ability to give other units money. This is cool. Dew's predicted canon pairing in Generation 1 is with Bridget, because she is blonde and older than Dew. Dew is quite lucky, because Bridget has pretty big boobs and I like them quite a lot, and I'm a bit jealous, to be honest. He can be paired with other girls, but there is no fucking point in doing that, so don't! Dew's daughter, Patty, is quite similar to Dew, but a little bit worse because she is a woman. She does inherit more skills, such as Bargain. Bargain is a skill that allows the unit to purchase items in shops for 50% of the original price. I gave the Paragon ring to Selith.
Garrick is a playable character in Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones.